Hi, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. We're going to be doing Taroscopes. We're doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Cancer. That's Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising for the month of August 2024. Just as a reminder, August is the 8th month of the year, and we're in an 8-year. So that is a double 8 vibration, and double 8s are pretty much responsibility, manifestation, karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. As you sow, so shall you reap. When you add those two vibrations together, we get a 16-7, which in the tarot is the come on, the Tower. No wonder I didn't want to remember. The Tower card. The Tower card, base number 7, 16-7, is about being true to yourself. Being true to yourself. We are being required to be ourselves, not who other people think we should be, not who we think we should be for others, but who we truly are on an inner level. Now, some people are well aware of who they are on an inner level because they're introspective. There are many people who are not. They don't look within. That's what the 7 asks us to do. So this month will be a month to look within, to understand who you truly are, who your true self is. You are spirit having human experience. You are a bridge between heaven and earth. All humans are a bridge between heaven and earth. All humans are a bridge between choosing to stay in the dark or choosing to turn on the light. July was a do you want to stay in the dark or do you want to turn on the light kind of month? And this is the month of being the true self. So I want to just start with that. Now, for July, as always, Cancer is a moon rule sign. One of the reasons why we get so much flack for being so changeable is because the ruler of our sign changes every 2.5 days. So you would be a little bit changeable if that was the case. We feel all the ranges of emotions when you're a Cancer. And you don't know right away. You have to mull it over. You have to chew it over. You have to think about it. You have to digest it. Cancer rules the stomach, and Cancer is about digesting and breaking things down to their component parts so they can be absorbed when they reach the intestine. Cancer does the hard work, actually, of breaking down the food, right? Breaking down the information. We have, and of course, because the moon changes every 2.5 days, we could go day by day and we'd be here for another hour, which I'm not going to do to you guys, but we would look at the new moons and the full moons. The lunations become very important. The sun is, as it starts, August is in your house of resources. When it moves into Virgo, it moves into your house of mind. So you will be working on your resources and you will be doing a lot of thinking towards the end, a lot of perfecting, a lot of making things better. It's the nature of the time. It's the nature of August for Cancers. Now, when I do this, I'm really looking at it from the perspective of the Cancer rising, but it does really apply to the Cancer as well, and even the Cancer moon. When you have a moon in Cancer, that's pretty potent because the moon is the ruling planet of Cancer. And so if you have a moon in Cancer, you're really feeling the feels, right? You can't separate yourself to a certain extent from the feels. We have a new moon and a full moon this month. Now, you might say, don't we have that every month? Well, we have at least that every month, usually. Some months, rarely, occasionally, depending on, like last month, we had two full moons, both in Capricorn, one at the first degree of Capricorn and one at the last degree of Capricorn. So, sometimes we have more than one, blue moons, etc., black moons, green moons, I don't know, it doesn't matter. The new moon is in Leo, and Leo is your second house. This is a time to start a new project, maybe money making, a new, something that's going to last the test of time, something that's going to bring you in resources. It's at 12 degrees, 13 degrees of Leo, the new moon. And that happens on the 4th. So early in the month. The next day, Mercury goes retrograde on the 5th. Now, Mercury retrograde isn't necessarily all that awful for a Cancer, because we have our own sort of retrograde motion anyway, as crabs can only go sideways and backwards. They can't actually physically go forward. So we understand all about retrogression, really. We kind of live like partly in retrogression and partly in direct and partly in that sort of waxing and waning energy of Cancer, right? But it does fall in your house of mind, and in Virgo. It goes retrograde. 5 degrees of Virgo. It does retrograde all the way back into Leo. And that happens on the 14th. It goes back into Leo. And so we have Mercury going through that sort of, it goes through the second house, third house, second house, you know, that kind of thing, back and forth. And so there are some details to figure out when it comes to your resources and your own sense of self-worth and self-esteem. There could be some retrogression in that, and you know, you bring it in, you digest what happened, and you move forward with it. We also have a full moon. Now the full moon is happening during the Democratic National Convention. It's the Monday of the Democratic National Convention. It's a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, 28 degrees of Aquarius, incidentally the same as the Sibley moon. Now, I bring up all this sort of more mundane astrology because the America is a Cancer country, as is Canada. Canada is also a Cancer country. So I could bring that in just to point out that, you know, this can also work in places that Cancer is prominent in the chart. And of course, the United States has a lot of Cancer in its chart. And the fact that this full moon is on the moon of the Sibley chart and is happening in the Democratic National Convention with the sun in Leo, the moon in Aquarius, exactly square Uranus. Yep, Uranus, same Uranus. That is, as I'm doing this today, is conjoining Mars, which was what? 2 days after somebody tried to assassinate the ex-president. So, you know, it's crazy times out there. And so for you, Cancer, that new moon in Leo, you can plant seeds for a sense of self-worth, self-esteem, for projects that will bring resources in. And then the full moon activates the house of your money and other people's money, with Uranus making a square to it. Uranus for you, Cancer, where would that be? That would be up in the, is it the 11th house? Up in the 11th house. So there's a lot of energy here for you in the mutable houses. The mutable houses are about change. You know, as much as Cancer is a bit of a homebody and likes to stay put in certain ways, we are not unaware of change, because it's within us every moment of every day with the tides. So do your best to move through this time. It's a difficult time because there's a lot of people suffering. There's a lot of needless, and that's something that is, or from our perspective, needless, I guess. That is something that Cancers will always, you know, feel. And so you want to soothe yourself. You want to focus on things that you do have control over, and you want to utilize your creative expression this month. That will be very helpful for you. Okay. So let's look at, we're going to do a reading. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown deck. I might have actually used this last month. I don't remember. I was thinking about it, and it was around when I was doing the water signs, but we'll do it again. I love this deck. It's a great deck. Okay, it's upside down. So let me put that right side up. So this is a reading for Cancer, Cancer Sun, Moon, or Rising. Like I said, Cancer Sun, you know, Cancer Sun likes to take care of people. I have my sun in Cancer. I've been a chiropractor for 35 years, I'm an astrologer, you know, I care about people and I want to help them. That's a very Cancer thing. When it's your ascendant, You kind of see the world through that, but it may not be, it's the lens that you see the world through, but it may not actually be your most, like my husband is a Cancer rising, and he has a very caring approach. He loves to cook, he loves to garden. So he's always sort of showing his love through things like food and making the garden beautiful and that. But he's an Aries and he's not a Cancer. He's an Aries and he's not gonna suffer fools or let anybody take advantage of him, which unfortunately for Cancer is something that we can tend to do because we see the need and we're like, you know, being the mother is a thankless job. And so we're going to change that, by the way. We're changing that whole thing. And then when the moon's in Cancer, it's your feelings, it's your emotions in the most sensitive, really energy to that, and that waxing and waning. So this is not an easy time for Cancers. It's not an easy time for the US. It's not an easy time for Canada. It's not easy for any place that has a lot of Cancer in its chart. And, you know, it's fraught. And so you really need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Drink enough water. It's going to be a hot, hot summer in Cancers. As you can see, I'm a Cancer, do not like the heat, and we have a heat warning today, and I'm not a happy camper, but I'm happy to be with you. Speaking of the sun, Cancer, this is a moment of illumination. The sun is shining and beating on our head and making us sweat, but it's shining. So things are being illuminated. This could also include things in the United States being illuminated, right? Let's see what's crossing it. The Nine of Pentacles, this is feathering your nest. This is being the self-made person. This is also making sure that your resources and your finances are safe, which of course Cancers like that because Cancers like the security of a nice little nest egg. They don't call it a nest egg for nothing, right? And Cancer being the sign of the nest, so to speak. And so through illumination, through seeing how things are, how do we maintain our sense of safety? How do we maintain our sense of poise? How do we maintain our sense that everything is going to work out for the best? Underneath it, we have the Six of Wands. This is a victory card after, you can see there's a rainbow, but after a storm. So this is kind of where we're at, right? There's been a storm, there's been rain, a lot of tears have been shed, but the rainbow comes as a promise for the future. In the past, you have attempted or you have put down roots or planted seeds for your own stability, your own financial stability. Maybe perhaps you finally had an opportunity to put your feet beneath you in some situation. In the sky, we have partnership and love. This is love between equals. This is partnership. This is, you see the two roses create an X. That X marks the spot, but that's actually the rune. Like if we just took the cups out of here and looked at the X, that's the rune for relationship, Gibo. It's about give and take. And so this is about working together, giving and taking, right? Being willing. You don't have to do it all on your own. You don't have to be the mother of everybody. You get to share. And that card is connected to in the system I use a 42-6 vibration, and 6 is about responsibility. What's your responsibility and what's not your responsibility, right? So you have to deal with the things you can, and the things that you have no control over, you have to leave for spirit, really. The Seven of Wands, this is standing in your truth. This is standing in your truth, no matter what people are coming up against or trying to, you're sort of in a way shining your light. This is just says shine your light, and your light will protect you. You see how the light is causing those sticks to sort of move aside. The light will protect you. Stay in your light, stay out of fear. You are strong and people see it. People realize your strength card and how other people see it. There's a change in fortune for you. So if things have been difficult, things are going to get easier. If things have been way easy, things could get difficult, but it's a cycle. It's a cycle. It comes and goes. The key to this card is not to get caught up in the ups and downs, but to stay in the center. Stay in the center of things. Hopes and fears. The Hierophant. This is traditional stuff, like traditional religion, traditional government. This could be the Constitution, so to speak, the way things are structured in a really in a hierarchical form. But it's also wisdom. I mean, people don't say this is the way it is because they just say it out of their, because that's what they want. But it's tried and true and tested. And so there's a part of you that's like, that wants to have something to depend upon, some tradition. And there's a part of you that doesn't want to be held back by it as well. And so there's a little bit of a love-hate relationship with authority and tradition. We have the Eight of Pentacles as the outcome. There's a lot of you're going to be working pretty hard this month. But it is a net, it is a network. You are the spider that creates the web that catches and attracts things. And so be aware of your web. You might have to get rid of some things on the web because it's too much. But you want to maintain your connections, maintain your web, maintain the matrix that you're in. I'm going to just pick 3 more cards to get a major arcana. If I get a major arcana, there is some change, some perhaps discussions, we'll call them, maybe heated discussions about beliefs around you. 7 of Pentacles, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You're not quite ready for prime time, but you just need to continue to apply yourself. This card also indicates to a certain extent cutting away those people who are sapping you that you don't need, like cleaning your net, clean the net. And then we have the 6 of Cups, which is a nostalgia card, which is like the roots go deep. The roots are as deep as the tree is tall. And so we need to connect with our spiritual roots, the ones that raise up to the sky, and our earthly roots. We need to be that transition between the earth and sky. We are the humans. We are the coming together of the higher and the lower, and it comes together in our heart. So it's asking us, and this is a 46-1 in the system I use, and this is about being in your heart. It's located in the heart chakra. Underneath it all, we have new ideas, support of friends. Okay, hang out with your friends, hang out with your girlfriends. There's a decision to be made. There's an eclipse coming. The eclipse is happening around the election here in the United States, and something's coming to an end and something new will begin. So you're in good stead. You're in a good position. You just be in your light, stand in your truth, help those who need help without taking away from your need to take care of yourself. There needs to be a give and take in all relationships. Did I look underneath? I did. Okay. Now I want to pull a Mystic Sisters Oracle card, which is the Oracle deck I've been using for all the readings. I change out the tarot, but I usually use the same Oracle deck. All right, Mystic Sisters. This is the deck that sort of inspired Ona and I to do the Mystic Sisters live. So, although I think we've used the deck a few times on the lives. Charms of Ishtar. Charms of Ishtar. Indulgence, distraction, and coveting. The goddess Ishtar symbolizes love, both its power and its danger. You have been seduced by someone or something that gives you pleasure, but you find yourself distracted from the path of your original destination. Ishtar offers delight in worldly acquisitions. On the flip side, she also has covetous, possessive, and defensive presence. When this card is drawn, you may be enjoying worldly offerings bordering on crossing over into overindulgence. Be aware of the consequences of your action. The opportunity is at hand to assess the motivations behind your passions. Is your passion driven to achieve a worthy goal, or just a distraction from reaching your true soul's calling? So don't get distracted. That can be, don't get distracted by all the political mumbo jumbo that's going on. I mean, do what you can. If you want to get the vote out, get the vote out, do those kinds of things, and just vote, right? So don't get distracted by your true calling, by the reason you're here, the reason d'être, which I think is French. It doesn't sound French when it comes out of my mouth. But anyway, have yourself a great month, Cancers. Be kind to yourself. Don't overindulge, I guess. Darn it, it's my favorite ice cream month. Don't overindulge in the ice cream. All that sugar and fat is probably not the best, but enjoy what you can within with tempering yourself. But you have everything you need. You have what it takes. We're going to move through this time. It's not easy. I understand that, but it is time for the light to shine, and that's not always comfortable. So, all right, take care of yourselves, everyone. Much love. Namaste.